This part tells us to stay up late to do dry slips, because you will pick up a vampire in the middle of the night and even get to sleep with him in the same bed. The main character Xiao Guang comes out to play late at night every day, not because he is too free, but because of his insomnia. The cause of his insomnia is the girl in front of him. A girl confessed her love for him. Xiao Guang politely refused. The other girl, naturally, was very sad. However, the girl didn't touch the side of his girlfriends, broke down the defense and said that he was a scumbag. Since then, Xiao Guang hated everything and didn't go to class. Jean right in front of him, and Xiao Guang, who was not yet an adult and underage, was forbidden to drink alcohol. Instead, she asked him if he couldn't sleep and said she could help him, and people were not in the deserted streets. The girl told him that the main culprits of the public were dissatisfied with the day. Looking at the face of the uncle how sweetly they slept, Xiao Guang could not help but spit out, "They are just drunk, just the girl does not care about this," and smiled and greeted the uncle and clapped hands with them. Xiao Guang thought they were the girl's acquaintances. But the girl did not know them properly. Short girl freed home. Hearing this, Xiao Guang also went back to free himself. He also wanted to greet the uncle, and the uncle ended up puking all over the ground. But it is also the first step of the bold feeling is indeed not bad. Not bad. Next second, the girl continued to speak, surprisingly let him go home with him. Xiao Guang also do not know which tendon is wrong, really followed up. In front of him is a bed mattress, a pair of pillows, and a packet of paper towels. Then the girl, a word of caution on the removal of an inch of clothing. This smooth skin and this exquisite body. Xiao Guang are looking dumbfounded. This is going to do it. Xiao Guang Alliance said, "I am still a child, you do not come." It was not easy to trick a boy. Home. Girl refused to let go in the girl's rhetoric. Xiao Guang stayed and naturally sleep together. Xiao Guang used the slow ice tactic, pretending to sleep to see what the girl to get up to. After a while, the girl even and did not move, finally revealed the true face of the girl. She turned out to be a vampire. Girl, slowly approaching the sudden girl pupil. A shock. This guy is who Xiao Guang looked at his neck blood. Do not know what to do. The girl quickly warned, "It's a mosquito, you see? I believe it." Xiao Guang worried about their own turn into a vampire girl, but White Hands denied that the original vampire is not biting a human will become blood-sucking. For him is just a meal to turn into a vampire. Prerequisite is that the boy fell in love with his own, said this girl could not help but blush. If the two continue to talk all night long, Xiao Guang will be his own misery to tell her the girl across the eye. Sympathy. He encouraged Kou to continue to do so. After a while, Kou seemed to have figured out that he wanted to become a vampire. The girl could not help him. He would not do anything but suck his blood. Love him or not is Kou's freedom. The two of them made a formal self-introduction. Of the girl's name is Kou Ji. So Kou came out every night to find the 7 grasses Kou Ji, or the first to declare to tell him that blood-sucking is equivalent to the same time to date and fox. However, trouble also ensued. The two of them have not agreed to fixed. So this night, Kou folded all night. Everything he didn't see each other. He was a bit disappointed, but now being sucked blood also can't become a vampire, so there is no need to see each other every day. Kou tried to really comfort himself, but Matsuri suddenly appeared in front of him. Kou asked him where he ran off to. Matsuri said that he was just going to find other prey. Matsuri greedily. His hands is just like human beings who can eat both bread and rice. How little is it? Just a matter of this small matter to be put aside beforehand. The point is, let's exchange contact information first or we won't be able to find each other next time. But the chick doesn't have a cell phone. How can he live in this era with a cell phone? The girl suddenly aura war line and brought Xiao Guang home from the box, pulled out the big brother big guy really fit the identity of the vampire. So Xiao Guang and Chicken exchanged the number of the big brother. Big brother is too big Chicken and do not want to take it out of the house to call the floor off. The plan completely failed. Chicken pulled up the bed, a single lie down to sleep up. Xiao Guang stayed in the same place, only to see the chicken pull the sheet to let him hurry over to feed naturally sucking blood. But Xiao Guang refused and said if you want to suck blood so much then go out and find someone else. I did not think that it is still a thick altar. Just chick words, grudgingly good in the chicken will still coax him. In fact, he has just been looking for Xiao Guang in order to save face to say that kind of words. Xiao Guang immediately from the initiative to pull open the clothes and just hit the body of the two people. Everything is so beautiful lying on the bed. Xiao Guang a long breath of clarity and the two people hold the same idea. Another night, in order to solve the problem of the two of them meeting in the future, Kou showed himself the watch with the intercom function. Matsuri was first dumbfounded and then showed an expression of excitement. He said that this ultra cool function of the watch must be used to play with it, right? Looking at his excitement, Kou was also aside of the affirmation of him, saying that Kou would remember when he was a child when the watch was first released, it was instantly attracted to him, and when he came back to his senses, he had already purchased 2 pieces of watches, but he didn't have any friends to play. With him, he hid one of the watches and waited for someone to get it to communicate with him. But after waiting for half a day, the watch didn't ring. So he went to recycle the watch, but the watch disappeared. Because he didn't have the courage to call it over, and the matter was closed. Listening to this story, the chickens tried to hold themselves back from laughing. But when they saw Xiaoguang revealing the watch back then, they couldn't help but be completely bewildered. In the end, the chicken said that this kind of play is also a lot of fun. Then the chicken flew into the sky. Xiaoguang walked alone on the street and began to look for a place to test and sigh the beauty of the night. Said that he pressed the watch intercom with a burst of noise across the street. Sounded the voice of the chicken and the two began to flirt with each other on the intercom. Immediately after, the chicken took Xiaoguang to fly in the night sky to look at the beautiful night. Everything is so beautiful. Then the two came to the rooftop of Xiaoguang's school. The school also seems to be less annoying under the company of the chicken. Also began to today's delicious. Afterwards, Xiaoguang walked home alone. Afterwards, the two came to the rooftop of the school where Xiaoguang was accompanied by chickens. The school also seems to be less annoying. And in the beautiful night sky, the chickens also began today's share. He was called Jiaojiming after Xiaoguang's childhood only living to take care of his friends. At this time, Xiaoguang's childhood friend suddenly rang the bell in front of the mailbox. The girl in front of me is called Zhao Jiming, the only friend of Xiaoguang's childhood who is willing to take care of him, although it is a childhood friend of Xiaoguang's. Since he saw Xiaoguang put a watch on his mailbox at home, he thought that it was a gift from Xiaoguang and accepted the watch. And he would get up early every morning and take a walk before going to school. After the signal, he pressed the watch and called out to Xiaoguang. Xiaoguang realized that this was a misunderstanding, but when he heard Ming say that he was his friend, he also stopped explaining, and then the two agreed to meet every morning to have a chat. However, this night, after Xiaoguang had finished his work, Xiaoguang came out of the chick's house. And Xiaoguang ran to the place where they agreed to meet the fan, and the two sat down in a park. But basically, they did not have much to talk about. There were a few lines of conversation every now and then. However, just at the same time, the chick appeared after the surgery and succeeded in catching her adultery. At this time, the figure of the chick appeared after the operation was successful. Chick caught adultery. Xiaoguang thought he must be finished, but the next chick seemed to be like a person with no problem and said that the two must be dating. You asked, this is your acquaintance, do not understand. Xiaoguang explained the chick. But said, and this guy is only the relationship of the body. You look at Xiaoguang and the chick said that the two must be that kind of relationship, right? Seeing that the people do not believe that the chicken decided to Xiaoguang and a live show Afterwards, Matsuri said she was just a vampire. Afterward, the three of them came to the restaurant and topped up some food and started to talk about it democratically. Komitsu was with such strange people that he wouldn't go to school, right? But Komitsu explained for the people why he didn't go to school after listening to Komitsu's explanation democratically. He was able to meet up with Komitsu again and was very happy about it, so he wanted to invite Komitsu to school with us again. Hearing that, Matsuri got a little bit angry and said, long time no see these words, but where have you been during the time of the accident? I was a little angry and asked, it's been a long time, but where have you been during the time of Kou's accident? Then he got up and left the restaurant. Seeing Matsuri leaving, Xiaolong also no longer hesitated, immediately chased after him. Looking at the angry look of Matsuri, Xiaolong, just like most straight men, asked, why are you angry? Matsuri cursed. Xiaolong is an idiot. Then got up and flew away, and before walking away, he also waved a friendly gesture to Xiaolong. Looking at the chicken flew away. Xiaolong immediately ran to catch up with him. It is true that by human strength still cannot catch up with vampires. The chicken was quickly lost, so Xiaoguang began to search again aimlessly. Then on the rooftop, when a careless fall fortunately only bit his tongue and did not fall out. Of the teeth, looking at the intercom in front of Xiaoguang, finally chose to escort the chicken smartly. Then the intercom rang and echoed. Sure enough, the woman is not angry, then you must first apologize after Xiaoguang around. Originally, chicken is afraid that Xiaoguang listened to the name persuasion, really go to school, so that in the future will not be able to see Xiaoguang every day again. And Xiaoguang replied that he will not be to go to school because he did not know how to explain to his human friends that he wanted to be a vampire. That would be in the eyes of his friends, will be very stupid. Then, Chick saw the blood on the corner of the mouth of the small light, asked how this is how it is. The small light replied that just a fall Chick said that this can not be wasted. Today will end here. See you tomorrow. Zhang Jiming is a self-disciplined girl. Every day of her life is a 2.1 line after going home. Will be beautiful wash up afterwards. They will lie down early to rest and look forward to the Qing dust and small light of the meeting again and small light. Side after the first few operations have been more skillful, sneak out of the door. However, after the previous day and Small G's kiss, small light but do not know what face to face the mystery, so they walked alone to the other places to wander up and walk around while thinking of yesterday's events. In the end, what inadvertently saw the footbridge, a pair of being kissing. Suddenly, Kou realized that only people who like each other do this, right? Could it be that he has fallen in love with Seven? Xiaoguang, excited up today, can finally become a vampire. Is happy when Seven found Xiaoguang, asked, what the hell are you doing? Must be to look for half a day. Xiaoguang hyped his own expression when Xiao sacrificed beautiful meal after Xiaoguang naively thought he could become a vampire. Xiao sacrificed a sentence to extinguish his enthusiasm. It turned out that Xiaoguang thought that the feeling of the heartbeat when he was being kissed is to like Xiao sacrifice, and Xiao sacrifice persuaded that it is only your physical desires then. Sacrifice said she would like to kiss again, and Kou said in a panic that it was her first time. Kou asked if it was her first time, and I didn't have a problem with it. And Sacrifice thought that kissing wasn't just a friend-to-friend behavior. That night, Ling Yijin's eyes woke up and looked at the time. On her phone and realized that it was time for her to sleep. So she went out the door early at that time, and Kou asked him if he was going to school so early after he had seen her. The Grey replied, just ready to casually stroll. Xiaoguang heard that. Since there is nothing to do, then let's go together to find the chick to play. And Xiaoguang and Chick's nightlife is really different. The two actually played the game together, but only a few days after dropping out of school. Xiaoguang naturally is not a vampire all day long doing nothing to rival, then the chick and in the box. To look for other games, and actually found a practice game. Game has a different style of 3 young girls within the game invited the protagonist of the game to attend classes and hate going to school. Xiaoguang naturally chose to refuse, but the girl still pulled him to go to school and then bumped into a bauble girl on the road to help the girl up. After the girl will no longer be pestered, Xiaoguang said that he quite liked the character of this girl. Xiaojie Wenyin asked, Xiaoguang is not like bigger girls, you seem to understand the meaning of the... Xiaojie final thought, but Xiaoguang but to the red said that he is in fact the size of all. It doesn't matter. Ming looked at the two get along like this, and was relieved to know that the two were doing people in their nightlife. But then Xiaojie's mouth got itchy and pulled the two of them. Said the 3 become lying together. Know that the 3 lying together is still not appropriate. Want to escape, but by the chick to the outside of the rain reason to persuade down, then chick in front of the face of Naru, let her up afterwards. Fan asked the 2 of you in the end, what is the matter, Miss said. The 2 of them are a willingness to suck and a willingness to give is... The relationship between the demand and supply of Kou explains, and he wants to become a vampire man. Then the 3 lie on the bed. Kou hands together, tightly embraced for fear of touching something soft, and Hei advised him not to worry about his own misunderstanding. Give up hand down after tonight's events. Hei gradually let go of trust. In Kou and Kuji, 2 things. Kou's hands were clasped tightly together for fear of... touching something soft, while Hei advised him not to worry about what misunderstandings he would have to give up his hand down. After tonight's events, Hei gradually let go of trust on the matter of Kou and Hime. But his purpose of allowing Kou to go to school with him will not be given up just as he thought of. The originally insomniac Hei slowly fell asleep and then got up to find that he had slept through the head of the panic. Hei hastily got up and packed up a meal and was ready to go out when Hime found him one day. At that time, Hime found someone else who could meet him one day, so he could have a good night's sleep. On that day, Hime woke up early, and during the time that he met Kou, Hime realized that he was alone at home. It was so annoying and boring, so they went out for a stroll when they passed by a bubble bath store, then decided to go in for a bath. Before entering the door, told the doorkeeper to call himself if his watch rang. Then he entered the bathhouse. Looking at the mirror in front of her, chick was a bit confused because the mirror couldn't reflect the vampire's appearance, so she didn't know what she looked like with her long hair. This is when the watch rang. The chick immediately rushed out of the bathhouse and took away the watch and then came to the street to see Kou. And Kou looked at the beautiful girl in front of her and suddenly got a bit excited. Then Kou asked Kou what she was doing, so they went into the bathhouse together. The street saw Xiaoguang. Xiaoguang looked at the different beauty girl in front of him and suddenly had a little heart attack. Then Xiaoguang asked Xiaoqi what he was doing. Xiaoqi replied that he wanted to take a bath together. So the 2 of them went into the bathhouse to take a bath, and after taking a bath, Xiaoguang looked at the attractive Xiaoqi tonight and had a stirring in his heart and felt disturbed about it in order to calm down and confirm his feelings. However, today he stopped to express his own blood at once, and Xiaoqi was not polite about it. Afterwards, Xiaoguang saw the store in front of him and wanted to take a break. But when he went in, he realized that it was a couple's hotel. Then Xiaojie jumped onto Xiaoguang and asked if you have confirmed your own feelings, because when a vampire sucks blood, he can sense the thoughts of the sucked from the taste. Xiaoguang replied that he was ashamed of himself for looking at Xiaojie in a pure way, but Xiaojie reassured him that he had to face up to his own feelings so that he could drink blood with values. After all, this contract was originally based on sucking your blood out, and Xiaoguang felt that if these feelings were eventually replaced by love for the chick. Then the 2 went to the footbridge and looked at the passing crowds. Xiaoguang wondered if the chick had sucked the blood of these people before who knew that the chick directly pointed out that he had sucked the blood of the person who was not in the blood of the chick, but the chick promised Xiaoguang that he would only enjoy the blood of you alone now, which made Xiaoguang eagerly want to drink your blood. This makes Xiaoguang eager to know how the chick lived before the chick said that she had a job before in order to suck blood, is to open a hypnosis, sleeping place at home, and all kinds of fee services. Was not what person. The chick told Huang about the injustice of being a vampire nowadays, and how she had learned to massage in order to make a living, and then the chick explained to Huang about the functions of the various degrees of massage. And just as the chick was about to have a go at Huang, the doorbell suddenly rang, and the chick was about to open the door to see who was interrupting her beauty. Huang sighed. The chick looked at the door and realized that there was a woman standing at the door who had forgotten to close the door when she came up. It turned out that the chick had forgotten to turn over the closed door when she came up, so it seemed that she had a customer. Then the chick said that she was tired from the massage and didn't want to receive any more customers, so she asked Kou to receive the customer. It turns out that Matsuri meant to ask Kou to provide this woman with adoration services, but Kou protested and Matsuri pouted that she hadn't opened the door since Kou met him. The store's own savings had been bottomed out, even the money for the room was paid for by me, then offered to split the income 50-50 in front of Kou, a little shaken up. Little sacrifice put forward a tempting offer. If you do this, I will give you a kiss again. The woman's name is Shirakawa Kiyosumi. Is a work-ridden all this day. In order to avoid harassment of the supervisor, to get out of the car early to walk the streets alone. Think of the previous girl dragged to the massage that felt like it was really cool, but she came back to the chick massage parlor while she was waiting for the service. But next, there was some kind of secret deal, and then Kou came in wearing overalls and said, then Kou started to massage, and while pressing, he thought that he was definitely compromising for money, never for the sake of kissing chicks. And Shirakawa looked at the young man working so hard, so she asked Kou if he had something to hide, but Kou said that he just had a stroke of pussy and had no energy. I'm not sure what I'm talking about, but I'm just going out in the middle of the night to feel the beauty of the night after I flush my body and have nowhere to release it. Xiaoguang suddenly realized that this is not the former self. So then Xiao sacrificed through the wall and came out in the hearing. Xiaoguang said, "Do not want this woman to leave this place." In addition to the playful words threw Baekha out of the window, just when Baekha thought that she would be such a fall to death when Xiao Chicken with Xiaoguang appeared too. Save for the three landed safely in front of the eyes of Baekha. Xiaoguang explained that because it is not willing to see Maze, Baekha to do their own reluctant things do not want to let her leave. Baekha persuasion Kou is too naive. There is no such thing as reluctance in the world of adults. But Kou said that he was not willing to let her go. I don't want to be a human being, and the one next to me isn't a human being either. I don't understand the life of an adult, but I still want to live innocently. It sounds unorthodox, but the company that calls for overtime late at night is even more unorthodox, isn't it? Since they're both unorthodox, why don't they choose the happy side? Afterwards, Kou walks to the middle of the street and invites Baekha to come and feel the indulgence and freedom of the night. Looking at the immodest Kou, Baekha suddenly felt much more comfortable, but work is not something you can just say no to. Then he was ready to leave, but Kou suddenly stopped him, and afterwards Chick was jealous and said, "You've got a lot of nerve. Do you know the requirements to become a vampire?" Another night alone, the chick asked Kou to ask what the arrangements for today's date. Kou then said a few chicks are not very satisfied at this time. Kou thought of an adult play and came to the pool at night. The pool is really big and beautiful. Kou was looking forward to what kind of bathing suit the chick will wear, but the chick appeared in a sticker skirt. Kou asked, disappointedly, why did not wear a bathing suit, and finally went to get a drink along the way. The chick's small and cute appearance attracted a lot of attention. Watching the chick so popular, Kou jealousy again overturned. At this time, Kou met a passerby to talk to the chick, deliberately did not refuse to talk to him, probably for fear that it would happen. On the way there, the chick's cute appearance attracted a lot of attention, and in view of the chick's popularity, Kou's jealousy was overturned again. At that moment, the chick was accosted by a passerby, and in order to tease Kou, the chick intentionally did not refuse to be accosted, probably for fear of a bulldozer scene, and Kou immediately rushed up and took the chick away. On the way back home, the chick began to comfort Kou, who was jealous of the chicken, but Kou was unexpectedly depressed, and neither comforting had any effect, so the chick suddenly found the pool next to it. The pool then picked up Kou and flew into the sky and then swooped down to the pool, after which the chicken undressed and started the movie. That night, Kou was sitting alone on the street when someone suddenly called out to Kou, just thinking about the need to escape, but found that the person who called her is Miss White River. White River did not thank that night Xiaoguang to her encouragement, so they invited Xiaoguang to drink a drink. In the hands of the drink, Xiaoguang sighed, master surrounded by a kind of wonderful feeling, just thinking about the sky suddenly. Started to rain, so they ran under the bridge to avoid the rain. Looked across to refuse to be accosted by other people, though Xiaoguang, but the to greet the girl, and then watched the girl left, Xiaoguang sighed that this has nothing to do with their own. But who knows that the girl, but found him in the exchange with the girl, learned that the girl was intentionally accosted by the other party to give money. But he did not look at each other, Xiaoguang. Decided that the girl's nightlife can be really dangerous, and then Xiaoguang looked at the girl's dress like a high school student, and the girl noticed Xiaoguang's eyes said, Kou immediately apologized for being exposed, but the girl said, I'm very interested in you, and took Kou's drink and walked away in order to get his drink back. Kou followed the girl to a deserted place. The girl suddenly hugged Kou without Kou introducing himself, and called out Kou's full name, and then opened his teeth and prepared to mouth. At this moment, Ki resurfaced and chopped off the girl's arm in an instant and warned the other party not to make a move on my prey. It turns out that this girl is also a vampire, only to see that he picked up the arm and then connected it, then turned to the chick and asked not to turn Kou into a dependent but still let him live. This is not in line with the rules of the vampire, right? She said she was ready to attack Kouki, but then a woman appeared behind Kouki and grabbed him. So it turned out that there was more than one vampire who wanted to grab Kouki. And then when Kouki couldn't make a move, the brunette woman took Kouki away. And after a period of time, the two of them landed on the rooftop of a certain building, and there were also 3 other vampires waiting for him, discussed. A small light, a look like the atmosphere of the woman to start with, said, we do not want to kill indiscriminately, but you must choose from our vampires to fall in love with one and become our dependents. Small Light said he only wanted chicks, only this statement was shocked all of them. Small Light actually left them these. Sought after storm soaring party to go to choose a small note, that kind of love fools this. To them is simply a kind of insult, and then the big sister Nicole moved to the Small Light's shoulder to sit on the couch. The big sister Nicole then moved Kou's shoulder to sit on the sofa and started to talk to the small green sword. Strong also started to fight for the big sister, first used hotline tactics to take advantage of the opportunity to pull Kou closer. But Kou said he was I like my elder sister because she's quite similar to Koki's elder sister. Immediately exploded when she heard that. How could she be like Koki's kind of alternative? It turns out that Koki is because she doesn't like to be too popular and doesn't fit in because vampires can attract human beings better, and thus they evolved a beautiful face. Watching men fall in love with her is their greatest pleasure, while Ozai is a loveful. This is not in line with them on the other side of the table. Ozai said to Kotone that he hates talking about women in love between them, and that's why they can't get along with each other. On the other hand, Sacrifice said to the Kitsune that he hated it when they talked about women in love, and that's why he couldn't get along with them. The Kitsune said that it's because you don't turn humans into family members and thus bring us trouble that we're here to help you. Sacrifice continued to say shyly, do not want to like any of us and do not want to be a vampire will be killed by us. But Kou said in surprise, he wanted to be a vampire and then explained. Kou went up to comfort Sacrifice, but Sacrifice got up and told Kou to leave. But the group said that if you don't explain how to get Kou in the future, you can't leave this place. Sacrifice couldn't explain, the rest of the vampires couldn't trust Sacrifice, so they started to fight. At this time, Kou told us about the agreement between Kou and Sacrifice, and also said what Sacrifice had said to Kou's sister, stifled a laugh at hearing that, and said that this is what he would have said. This is another declaration of love by Hime, who doesn't know how to fall in love. After this explanation, everyone agreed that they were in a relationship and told them to continue to work hard, but then Kou said that there was a time limit to become a vampire, and she told Kou that if he didn't become a vampire within a year from the first time he was sucked, he would never become a vampire again. Finally, Chicky told Kou that she still had one more promise to make with him, and then she kissed him, and the two left the rooftop without any problems and flew away. On the way to the rooftop, they flew. Kou was glad that he was the first to meet the chick. It was great. Afterwards, Kou told his friend Ming what happened last night. Ming was surprised. This is really dangerous. In case you don't fall in love with a chick within 1 year, it will be killed. Right, Kou? Then reacted to that. Does not mean that he has only 1 year to live. But Akira reassured him that he will work with Kou to find a solution the next day. When going to school, Akira was still thinking about how to help Kou. But on the way up the stairs, met a boy lying on the floor sleeping. This boy's name is Jin Chong. Is a small time willing to follow the Kou and Akira night companion and all the boys in the school anime, as is a very good people. Recently, because of too many late nights, so fell asleep here. Ming sighed how the recent popularity of late nights. Jin heavy but said he fell in. Love with a woman older than himself, the other side. Only night free. He can only cooperate with the other side. Ming was surprised and said the other side is not a vampire, right, Pearl? But thought that the Ming joke. Then the two talked about Xiaoguang. Pearl sighed a long time, have not seen Xiaoguang come to school next. Time to try to contact him while Xiaoguang decide, but I met Qing. Looking at this vampire who wanted to kill himself, and then Chick asked how the two were progressing, and Kou said that although he was trying hard to fall in love with Chick, but he was a white guy in love, but he didn't know how to do it. Chick looked at Kou in front of him and said, I don't know how to do it. So he gave Kou some ideas, and finally Kou came to Kou's house to ask him for a date, but Kou was not interested in dating and went back to the house to play a game. So it was true that love is the biggest enemy of games. Kou turned off the game and continued to invite Kou for a date. So Kou had no choice but to put on his clothes and follow Kou out of the door, so the two of them went to the cinema to watch a movie. But it was the movie about love, which was the one that Kou didn't like most, so they had no choice but to go to a restaurant looking at Xiaoguang, so stiff operation Xiaoji naturally thought that there must be someone behind the Xiaoguang, although Xiaoguang refused to say who was behind it. But Xiaoji took the note after it was confirmed that it was Xiaoqin behind the ghost idea. Xiaoji said it was very boring and went back, but after that Xiaoji will be face to face since playing the game. Suddenly hungry stomach looked at the last item of the date note to look at the night view together to dine, so she had the cheek to look for Xiaoguang again. Ji took Kou and flew in the night sky. Ji said if dating is to do things that make two people happy, then every day we are together is a date. Then the two of them in the wonderful night began today's meal that night Kou was looking for, where Ji was on his way to look for. The way to meet Zhen Mantra, Kou was self-conscious that Zhen Mantra would not be able to say hello to him, but Zhen Mantra unexpectedly came to Kou, and the two of them chatted about their daily life in the park. Know that Pearl regarded herself as a friend, and Kou was actually quite happy that the two of them were chatting about Mimi, who had gotten up early and joined them, so the three of them talked about Kou's current nightlife. Pearl took her as her friend and she was happy to know that Kou was happy. They were chatting and Mimi, who woke up early, joined them and they talked about Kou's nightlife. Ran up and called out to Xiaoji. Xiaoji looked at the small light in front of him and stretched out his hand to hold the small light. Xiaoji said, "This is to not let you blink in the blink of an eye disappeared." This day Xiaoqing looked at the cell phone, constantly harassing the man, feeling impatient, as the posture phantom of this is also quite boring. Coincidentally saw alone Xiaoguang began to fly step over. Who knows, Xiaoguang shocked to this. Will not be a problem, right? Chicken told him to give up just as said. Xiaoqing appeared behind Chicken, so the two vampires then fought after the incident. Xiaoqing explained that he only wanted to have a good relationship with Xiaoguang, but the chicken persuaded you. If you do not suck human blood, it's not quite averse to have a good relationship with humans. Xiaoqin heard and then despondent up and said goodbye to the two, then left alone. At this time Xiaoqin suddenly came up and asked if there is something bothering you. If you don't suck human blood, then you don't like to have a good relationship with humans. Then Xiaoqin got up and said goodbye to the two of them and left alone. Then Xiaoguang suddenly chased after her and asked if Xiaoqin had something to worry about. If she had something to worry about, let's go to karaoke. Together, then the two of them came to the private room and started to fight. It turned out that Xiaoqin was worried about the men who were in love with her and were always pestering her, so Shuji told her to give up. Xiaoguang explained that this kind of thing is a small problem. If it's too much trouble, then kill all of them. Xiaoguang said speechlessly that your way of solving problems is really extreme. Then the two of them began to sing a song. At this time, outside the door suddenly sounded knocking. It turned out to be the harassment of the man. Xiaoqin found his face in the face of the sudden situation as if caught in bed. Xiaoguang panicked, hastily turned to the Xiaoqin to ask for help to think of a solution. But Xiaoqin said that if it interferes with ours, then kill him. If he's in the way, then kill him. But Kou felt that killing him would be unreasonable and that it would be better for both sides to talk about it. And as they were arguing about it, an actor suddenly came in and looked at the man's sickly appearance. Kou felt that things were getting troublesome and started to kill the man with glasses. The crucial moment, Kou appeared to save him and looked at Kou, who was pressing on Kou, and greeted him and escaped with him. The two of them managed to escape to an alley just as Xiaoguang was getting a breath of fresh air. The man with glasses asked what had happened and who the hell are you? Xiaoqin's Xiaoguang asked what is the relationship between him and Xiaoqin. Hearing Xiaoguang's question, the glasses man froze. Xiaoguang and pursued the attack, asked if you like Xiaoqin. If so, what are the emotional troubles? Then please tell me. It turns out that the glasses man's name is Q. One day late at night, after falling out of love with drunkenness, the two of them met in this way, with the time spent together more and more. The glasses man suddenly realized that he is more and more unable to get away from the little Qin. Later, he saw less and less of Xiaoqin, so he couldn't help himself and started to send her messages all the time, but now it seems that he was delusional. Xiaoqin suddenly appeared and told Xiaoguang to get out of the way. He wanted to solve this problem or else he would even kill Xiaoguang too. Xiaoqin looked at the man with the glasses in a daze and chose to show her off. When he said he was ready to do it in the nick of time, the belly protector Xiaozai descended from the sky and took control of Xiaoqin. Xiaoqin told Xiaozai to let go of her. He had to finish off that man. Xiaozai ignored it and asked him why he was so serious about killing a person, only this time. Xiaoqin was silent in the face of Xiaoqi's questioning at this time. Chu suddenly spoke up and said that all this was his own fault. Not to blame for not falling in love with Xiaoqin originally, the two of them have been living well together as friends every day since they met. After they met as friends, they got along very well every day. Xiaoqin wanted to be friends with this man, but how can there be a level of friendship between a man and a woman? And Xiaoqin didn't want to turn her friend into a vampire's dependent, so she deliberately stayed away from Chu. And that's why the matter has developed into what it is now. After the truth was revealed, Xiaoqin explained to Chu that the two of them wouldn't see each other in the future, and they would just pretend that nothing happened. Look like love expert Xiaoguang stood out and said you are afraid of losing and keep avoiding, you are the one with the biggest problem, right? Since as friends stand together. Let's talk about it, Xiaoqin. Heard that it makes sense. So he went to the RQ before the showdown. He is a vampire, but vampires and humans cannot be friends. Separate for the good of both of them. Said. But the tears fell down. Xiaoqin does not want to lose this friend. Obviously, he and RQ get along. With RQ is very happy. RQ heard Xiaoqin's confession. Heart is also particularly happy because she also do not want to be separated from the little Chin, so they meet up there. Mind to be. Look at the two of them. In front of the small light heart. Very deep envy, small festival, but see through the small light of the heart. Don't envy. All this is all caused by you, and you just take your time to do it as a vampire small green in order to better attract the human. Being has been working in a maid store this day because the store is short of people who take a leave of absence. Small green worried that the store will be busy. Want to find a person to fill in the shifts but can't find a visitor to the welcome to the people, but she couldn't find visitors because the website is the top spot in the store. In this way, the chick was dragged to the maid store as a temporary worker. Everything is not bad except for the breasts, a little flat, and green. In order to let Kou to see their own charm was arranged for the guests to enter the scene in 5 minutes. Then Kou in a group of maids welcomed into the store and sat down, and green warm greetings compared to the chicken's greetings seemed to be poorer. Look at the chick's attitude of touching the fish. Green almost exploded. Foul language had no choice but to promise to pay the chicken's wages for the sake of the wages of the chick, only reluctantly serious work. Then Green began to work. And look at the customers praised Green, who sat straight to the bull. The chick was reluctant to pay her wages, and then Midori started to work and looked at Midori, who was being praised by the customers, and then Kou said that she was the first time that Kou came to the store, so she started to introduce herself and said that it was Midori who had asked her to come to the store. But Tomoyama had told her that she couldn't say her real name, and then told Kou that Midori was very good and had just arrived at the store and was very popular amongst the customers, and that she had soon rushed to the top of the popularity list and quietly told Kou that she was very good, and that she was very popular among the customers, and that Kou was very good at what she did. She told Kou that she was also the #1 in popularity, and that she had been the #1 before that. While taking a break in the restroom, Midori was going to take a picture with Chick and upload it to the store's social media account, but found that the account had uploaded a number of clandestine photographs of Tomosae. After that, she asked Kou to go out because she had to get changed for work. Kou apologized and left the house. Chick appeared and said that she wanted to investigate with Kou. So the two of them started investigating. From the direction of the photo, it was taken from the balcony, but the door of the balcony was locked. Unless Chick had a vampire body and could fly, then Roku was the most suspected suspect. Tomosha suddenly opened the window and bumped into them. Chick saw this and quickly explained that she was just investigating a clue, but after Tomosha left, Kou began to reproduce the scene and took out his cell phone to shoot the chick who was with Yumi Hey no, go to hell. Finally, Xiaolong said often selfie people will be photographed a little better. It then Xiaolong aura battle line, so he called the chickens after closing time to the relevant personnel to convene. Xiaolong heard that they came to the locker. Room and asked to catch the culprits are at this time. The three sensed that someone is going to come in. They began to carry out according to the plan. Xiaolong and Xiaolong, two people, hid in the locker in the small space the man could not stand. Xiaolong teased. Just at this time, two people heard the movement in the room. Immediately rushed out of the locker to find that the filming maniac is actually Have-san themselves. Xiaolong wondered how Xiaolong found that the culprit is Have-san. Arisa is a girl who loves taking selfies, and since Midori came to the store, her popularity has changed from #1 to #2, and she's not so he staged his own secret camera drama to show that he was still popular. After the truth came out, Yusa said he would quit, but Midori reassured him that it was no big deal. Everyone has their own desires and fetishes, including myself or everyone else in the store, but we can face them head on, can't we? However, after the incident ended, Hime saw the store's paychecks and stayed on to work in the store. Kou was waiting for Hime to get off work at the maid store. Yusa suddenly came to Kou and sat down next to him. Kou was very surprised that Yusa would come to the store on her day off. Yusa explained that, "I had said that my fun was to chat with the recommended maids in the maid store." This day, Yoshi excitedly introduced Kou to the home of the newly added furniture arrangement of the home is not only often available, even the empty closet has been added to a few pieces of couples' suits. It turns out that Yoshi earned some money from the maid store and then upgraded to a sleeping partner, and then he was able to get some money to sleep with Hime. It turns out that Yoshi earned some money at the maid shop and upgraded the configuration of the escort massage parlor. Isn't this a new way of playing that he wants to unlock for Kou? Then let Xiaoguang go outside to look at the rather tired customers to theorem. Along the way, Xiaoguang thinking about how to look like a serious person, rather than like a pimping to cause misunderstanding of other people, are thinking about suddenly saw a woman appeared on the bridge. To see the woman fully meet the requirements, Xiaoguang went up to talk to ask her time to talk about how the woman agreed. The two came to the restaurant. Xiaoguang hurriedly explained that he is not a big good, which makes the woman a little disappointed. Xiaoguang explained that he is just a pimp for the escort agency, just afraid of the woman misunderstanding, and explained that he is just a helper, and the real escort girl who unexpectedly the woman threatened with this matter. The woman explained that she was just a customer for the escort agency, and that she was afraid that the woman would misunderstand her, and explained that she was just a helper, and that the real escort was a girl, but the woman threatened her with the same thing and said, "You don't want the labor force to know that you've been working illegally, do you?" After that, Kou froze, but the woman went on to say that Kou was relieved and thought that he was going to lose his chastity, and that the woman said that she didn't like to use the law to deal with things, and that you might have some hidden secrets. That he refused Xiaoguang's solicitation, and then the woman introduced herself as a private detective called Yin Linzi. Her Yin Linzi is a famous detective Xiaoguang immediately interested in. A line of sun said his job is only to investigate the track to deal with human relations and find missing persons, just said, and then asked Kou if he often in the neighborhood know a guy called Akiyama Kou. Looked at the line of sun, took out the photo, is actually on the top of the Akiyama Kou, a momentary loss of love. Maybe in trouble, look at Kou with open eyes. A line of sun temporarily believed him and then gave Kou a business card that if there is any news on it, contact him. Then left the restaurant and returned to Ozai's home. Kou told Ozai this matter. Ozai complained, and somewhere in the city, in Senko side, today's harvest is more than the imagination. Ozai complained. The first line of the son of a tentative believed that he then gave Kou a business card saying that if there is any news, he will contact him, and then left the restaurant back to the home of the small festival. Kou told the small festival complained, and in the city of a certain place in Fairy Seaside today's harvest, then imagined it this night. Junkers asked to meet with Kou, and the enigma of the two people said that they have a place they would like to go to. The three people came to the school. Originally, Junkers said the three people, since they are friends, they should come out to play together, and appointed the three people to come together at the school explore the Seven Monsters Forum. Three people came to the school explore the Seven Monsters Forum. Three people came to the school to explore. The three of them come to the first weird forum called the Toilet of Hanako-kun. Since it's in the female toilet, Jen spell persuades Enigma to change the result was predictable when the three came out of the pearl head with a bag. Then the three again, one by one to explore the other strange story. Results are all false. Three people lamented. This adventure is really ridiculous. How can there be these things? But after this adventure, the three people's relationship much closer. Then the Kou suddenly said, in fact, there is still one thing that has not yet been resolved, that is 10 years ago. The disappearance of a teacher every time to the end of the night will appear in the classroom, Xiaoguang and the fan. Naturally, they didn't believe it, so the three of them went to find out, but when they really opened the door to the classroom, there was actually a man sitting in the classroom. A man pounced on Min, and looking at the man's face, Kou realized that the man only knew vampires. And listening to Min's pleas for help, Kou finally reacted, and immediately grabbed a chair, and immediately knocked the man over, and then got down to Min, who had been pounced on, and Kou questioned why this vampire was so different from the vampires that he knew, and then he suddenly appeared and asked why he didn't know him. Suddenly appeared Kou just wanted to ask why a line of children appeared here. When a line of children to the endurance to the limit of the man exposed his neck, a line of children let the vampire as much as possible to suck blood. But when the man finished sucking blood, but questioned why human blood is so hard to drink, it turns out that the man, since 10 years ago to become a vampire, has been avoiding the crowd to try to restrain themselves from sucking blood. Today was the last day of his life, but the appearance of Xiaoguang, and they're broken. The last of his sanity. The man regrets why he fell in love with that woman in the first place and turned into this appearance to watch the man's miserable look. A line of comfort said that he would let her die as a human, then pulled out a ring for the man to hold in his hand. When the morning sun appeared in hell, the man slowly turned into dust. It turns out that not only a private detective but also the fairy of the dark said, "I will let her die as a human being," then pulled out a ring and let the man hold in his hand. When the morning sun in hell appeared, man slowly turned into dust. It turns out that Yin Fairy is not only a private detective but also a vampire lover. Can be Xiaoguang, so what happened in front of me? Questioned to the Yin Fairy, why kill the man? Yin Fairy but grabbed the Xiaoguang, refuted that the man was a vampire, but he was not a vampire. Afterwards, he told the three of them that if they had any questions, they should come to him. Kou also realized that he knew nothing about vampires. After the last incident at school, Kou began to waver in his desire to become a vampire. In order to understand what vampires are like in the end, Kou decided to go and find Chick to ask for a clarification. But as soon as Chick saw Kou, he pounced on him like a kitten in heat. What's the matter? No other... Wait, Kou could only tell Key what happened because Kou was afraid that Key would turn into a vampire like Uncle. Key told Kou not to tie himself to the old man. It's not something you need to think about right now. Then the two of them were ready to go out and take a walk. On the way, Kou talked to Key about the detective who tried to persuade Kou to give up his desire to become a vampire. I'm not a vampire. Kou explained that he was just worried that Matsuri would be implicated because of him. After all, the detective has the means to kill vampires before. Because he made his friend get hurt, he didn't want this to happen to Matsuri again. Kou felt sorry for rejecting Matsuri before, but now he won't think about it that much, so please. Start eating at that time Kou's phone rang. It turned out to be Jen Chong inviting Kou to go. The two of them were on their way back to the club, and Genji said that he had learned the truth from the detective and he wanted to know why Kou turned into a vampire as a friend. He was very worried about Kou, afraid that Kou would really turn into a vampire to cheat and test the risk of innocent people. Or like that man died a painful and lonely death in the face of the real questioning. Kou also began to think about why he became a vampire. Is it for freedom or to fall in love with Matsuri? Kou himself cannot think of an answer to look at the silent Kou. Real also did not force it, just advised him to think about it. Kou could not solve his own confusion, so he had to come to Matsuri's home to seek solace after learning about Kou's search for teenage materials to find a way. Kou began to tell a story. Asked Chick to come into the house, but as soon as Chick entered, the door began. There is no parent at home. After learning of Kou's confusion, Kou asked Chicken to take him home to make sure no one was home. Kou asked Chicken to come in, but as soon as Chicken entered, he began to rummage through teenagers' study materials, looking for Weiguo, and then began to tell a story about how there were no parents in the house today, It's him. Asakina said she was coming, and then Chick suddenly asked Kou how he was considering it. It's only natural that he couldn't make up his mind. After all, a normal person would choose to give up. But Kou replied that the night brought. But lately, he's also discovered that the night isn't all about fun. But Chick said that the reason why you find the night interesting is because it brings a different experience to your life. But in the long run, when the novelty wears off, do you still like this life, like love and marriage? Different anything doesn't last long and was ready to leave. But Chick wanted to call out to Yoshi, but who knows? Yoshi slowed down. Just like love and marriage are different, nothing lasts long. Being a vampire is actually boring, said and was ready to leave. Kou wanted to call Yoshi, but who knows? Yoshi slowly approached Kou. Eventually the chicken left, leaving a little confused Kou in order. To solve the problem at its root, Kou found Yin Yinzi wanted to learn about vampires from him. But who knows, Yin Yinzi not only knew about vampires, but even Kou's personal information. But who knows, not only does he know about vampires, he even knows all about Kou's personal information. He has no experience in love, but he likes a type with a big belly. There's no devil himself, but there's a scary kind of vampire on his elbow. As for vampires, Shadow Fairy believes that vampires are evil beings who are unfortunate obstacles to humans. And even if Kou becomes a vampire, can Kou resist the blood or endure the pain for 10 years? But now it seems that if you do not fall in love with the little priest, then both of you will be in danger. Right then, Shadow Fairy asked Kou to choose immediately whether to become a human and live well, or become a vampire and be killed by me. But Kou did not agree with his idea because Kou felt that the vampire he knew is not as evil as he said. Also want to live in peace with humans, have no choice to see that Kou. Refused to see his own, so he had to take a practical approach to limit the activities of Kou. In order not to be caught, Kou immediately turned around and ran away because he was afraid of being implicated in the case of Kou. Kou fled to the park to hide, and at that moment someone found Kou when Kou was lost in the empty space. Hatsumomo, who was passing by, found him and picked Kou up and brought him back to his house. Wa brought Little Light here as a guest, so Chowa wanted to send everyone back, but when they saw Little Light, they started to get jealous, but Chowa gave them a look that made them not dare to do anything wrong. In the end, Xiaoguang was dumbfounded sitting on the sofa, recalling the operation of Hatsumomo, and it is true that just as Fairy Iso said that they do not know anything about vampires. At this time, Hatsumomo suddenly staged the classic drama called Xiaoguang Underground Warning, looking at the naked Hatsumomo. Xiaoguang shocked Hatsumomo is actually a man. Xiaoguang was incredulous, but Chorwa thought that the chick had told him about the chick, and Chorwa asked if you had a fight. Xiaoguang but promised the other side of the chicken to find the vampire crowd told the crowd that Xiaoguang should not be a vampire. But even if you cannot be a vampire, please do not look for Xiaoguang trouble. But Nicole said that this is not the same as what was agreed upon. Said that became angry, smashed the table between the two crossbows up. The chicken is determined to help Xiaoguang. You can look at the attitude of the chicken, is very determined to be very angry. This side of the Chorwa listened to the explanation of the small light, is very shocked. Small light is still in order to become a vampire and worry about it, but Xiaoguang said about the previous school experience, so that Chorwa realized that things are not simple, but after all, a lot of things are still not clear to the two continue to communicate. When Chorwa's phone rang, it turned out to be someone to send Xiao sacrifice their scene photo. Xiaoguang realized that Xiao sacrifice is precisely in the protection of their own and broke up with the crowd out of the Chinese circle. If he went there, he may have the risk of being killed, of course. There is also a safe choice, that is to become a member of my family. That is to become my family. I am confident that you like me. Men know what men need the most though. Xiaoguang was not afraid of the difficulty, but recalling all the happy experiences with Matsuri, Xiaoguang still chose Matsuri without hesitation. With such determination, Xiaoguang had much more comfortable after saying goodbye to Hua Xiaoguang. Immediately rushed to the scene of the incident, but after arriving at the scene was already over. Looking at the scene of a mess, Xiaoguang asked the chicken what happened to Nicole, persuaded that this is the price she had to pay for the protection of Yu Xiaoguang, more worried about the safety of the chicken even more. To want to find the chick, even in the face of police questioning, could not stop Kou and the chick side is also worried about Kou, complained about his own face-to-face to suffer walking and want to buy a drink. But at this time, just like the initial encounter, but this time it is Kou who has found Matsuri. Matsuri asked Kou, worried about Matsuri is not hurt. Matsuri told him not to worry about his... Oh, nothing. It seems that Kou misunderstood Nicole. It turns out that Nicole thinks that for the two of us, violence cannot. Afterwards, Koko apologized to Makoto, and although Makoto said that it was over, Koko was born and Makoto, but now it's different. Sacrifice finally stopped hiding her heart and said that she was happy with Kou, and said that she wanted to express her feelings to Kou, but Kou beat her to it because she was talking too much. Sacrifice died on the spot, so Kou calmed down and... Let sacrifice take it easy, but in the face of Kou's sincerity, sacrifice gave him a big surprise. I'll be your favorite vampire.